Hey, let's get this started. And I want to ask you a tough question. What are you passionate about? It's the elusive question. What do I want to do that would change the world? What is the purpose of my life? Now, for me, being a believer in Christ, my purpose is to glorify God and to make disciples of all the nations. But more specifically, I want to hone in on what it is that I actively do that makes other people's lives better. So I want to do a couple things. I want to tell you about my story, volunteering as a foster care volunteer, and then ask you a few questions that can help you hone in on what you can do volunteering today that will make your communities and your country better. I come from an Air Force family. Both my parents were in the Air Force, and while we lived overseas, I started volunteering in orphanages in Thailand, Costa Rica, Mexico. And I was only 8 years old when I first volunteered, and I'm sure I was not much help. I was just this little blonde kid in a sea of Thai children who couldn't speak a lick of Thai, but I learned that they were kids just like me, who had dreams and goals and wanted to go to college. And I learned that I wanted to dedicate my life to helping kids who were displaced from their families, which led me eventually to be a foster care volunteer when I was a senior in high school. So I think for a lot of people, foster care is like the dirty thing that we don't talk about. It's something that we can't really change, and so we don't do anything about it. I want you to imagine this. Imagine you woke up tomorrow as a foster child in Arkansas. You'd be one of 8,000 children, and there might be only 1,600 homes for you to go to. That means you probably would have to leave your county, leave your school and friends, and probably move into a group home, especially if you were a teenager. Right now, the ratio of available beds to foster children is 0.71. My vision is to make sure that there are more than enough beds for children in Arkansas, at least raise the ratio 1-to-1, and to train up foster parents and volunteers in Arkansas. Now, I use the acronym EDM to explain my game plan. E, to educate people about the need for foster parents. D, to dedicate my time to foster parents through hosting parents' date nights once a month, where parents can go out and recharge and leave their kids to be mentored for a night. And M, to motivate people to be foster parents or volunteers. Everyone has something to give to foster care, whether you're a parent, whether it's your time, skills, or money as a volunteer, everyone has something to give. That's just an example. I understand that not everyone is going to be passionate about foster care. So here, second, I want to zero in on what you're passionate about. Now, my first question is, what do you care about? What makes you cry when you think about it? What makes you angry, or what do you really want to change about the world? For example, I was a camp counselor one summer, and I had a cabin full of foster girls, and one of the girls was 14 years old. I'll call her Natalie, and Natalie told me, I've never felt safe in a home. I've never felt loved before. And she told me about how when she was 13 years old, she became pregnant with a guy because she wanted to feel loved and had her abortion at 13. I want to make sure something like that never happens in Arkansas. I want to make sure that those teenagers are valued, that they're in a home where they feel loved and hopefully can be a permanent home for them. So it's this passion that makes me want to dedicate my time to foster children. The second question you should ask yourself is, what am I currently doing for someone who can offer me nothing in return? Volunteering with foster care is not measurable. It's not something that I can point out, this is how much fundraising money I've made, these are how many people have been cured from a disease. It's not that clear cut. The goal is reunification with families or to find an adoptive home. But I want you to identify serving somebody who can't offer you anything back. Now, that could be working with elderly people, with children, with someone with disabilities. Think about, what can I do that's not going to be postable on social media, that's just between me and that other person? I have 3 steps for you to get involved immediately. First thing is get really specific about who it is that you want to serve. My friend Count Shanks volunteers to raise awareness for organ donation in Arkansas. Her platform for the Miss Arkansas organization is Give Organs, Give Life. So she volunteers specifically with people who are going to need organ transplants. The second thing you should do is contact an organization or specific person who can get you involved and get you plugged in. I know this can seem a little bit uncomfortable, thinking, oh, I don't really have that much to give, especially as a college student. I started volunteering with foster care when I was 17. I started babysitting for families. I cleaned the facilities of the call, which trains foster parents, and I made meals for families. And the third really important thing is pick something that will be a recurring service, something that you can do monthly or weekly. I believe the area where you make the most impact is where you've built relationships between people. Now for me, that means knowing a foster child for a long time. I remember seeing a little girl come into our church when she was only an infant, and she was in cast and she'd been abused by her parents. It was really sad to see. And now a few years later, I still get to hang out with her at date nights, and I see her be this loving, active 4-year-old girl who has just totally been transformed. She's just in a totally different place because of the relationships that she's built with her parents and then also with people who mentor her like us. So to recap, ask yourself, what do I care about? What am I doing for someone that can offer me nothing in return? And then the 3 steps. Find who specifically you want to serve, contact a person this week or an organization that you can serve alongside. And 3, pick something that will be a recurring service. I'm so excited about all the cool things that you'll be doing. Please connect with me here on YouTube or on social media and let me know what you've got involved in. See you soon. Bye.